Robert the Iron Vapor here. Kind of a review-ish kind of thing going on, and certainly I'm doing a build, okay? So, you know, I'm going to go over the item, which is the Moonshot, all right? So, from SIGELE, designed by, what does it say? SUPRIMO, right? Designed in the U.S., made by SIGELE, Moonshot Nano. Going to go through the ins and outs of this because this is one of those devices that is finicky. All right? Finicky. Yes. I mean, I'm used to dealing with all kinds of Genesis addies, you know, whether it's using stainless steel cable, whether it's using stainless steel mesh, and, you know, those are finicky devices. So I'm used to dealing with finicky. But for a lot of you out there, you may not be used to like finicky, all right? Which this can be very finicky. But so I am gonna build it after I show it to you. I have two pre-made coils, so I won't take up time making the coils. But that's okay. So let's open this up. This is how it comes packaged. All right. Writing on the inside here. So let's see. It says flavor chase and cloud chase without dripping. Enjoy the Moonshot and its active cooling. Flow precision cotton control spin deck. Enables the easy wicking. Small chambered RDTA deck. Right. So, you know, it's a true RDTA, if you want to say that. RDA with a tank. Okay. And it also states here 30 to 200 watts. Now you get this little piece in here. This is not a manual. This is a bunch of crap here dealing with the authenticity security query background thingy. All right, to make sure you have an authentic Moonshot. So here we have inside underneath this piece of foam. There's the Addy. Now let me turn this around. Right, there's the Addy. You got spare glass and O-rings and such in here. Right, and seals. So that's nice. They provide that. And in here is you got 2 additional grub screws for building. You get 2 different size hex keys, which one I'll remove, which is the large one. Because I'll be damned if I know what this little one's for. Seriously, I don't know. I have no clue why you have an extra different size hex key when I don't see any place here at all that I can use it. So there's the Moonshot. This is how it comes. All right. Obviously, let me zoom in a little bit on this. All right. Hold on. Zoom in. There we go. All right. So keep it up and keep it on frame. All right, so there it is. There it is. Here's the Delrin, what they call a Delrin drip tip. Oh, needless to say, there's nothing else in here. There's no manual, no nothing. You're left to your own devices or research to figure out what this thing is about, right? So if I grab this Delrin, and you can use your own drip tip inside of this, or you can just vape off of that. Right. So this is the top cap. You fill through there. Let me take this apart. All right. There's your glass. Here is the vape chamber top. Here is obviously some sort of seal here for the glass. And here's your build deck. Right? Here's your build deck. How the hell can you possibly build on that? How? This ring here comes off. So you simply grab it. Okay. And unscrew it. And that comes off. So you got threads here, you got internal threads here, internal threads there, external threads here. So the internal for the bell cap, the external threads are what screws down into the deck itself, right? Or, you know, there. And here's your build deck. There's your other seal for your glass. And this is just, that's it. Airflow control, obviously. Your 510 connection with the insulator in it. But here's your build deck. You notice there's nothing really, you know, what do you use to hold this thing while you're building? Right? What do you use? How do you do this? Because if you just stick this in here so you can build it, right? This is free spinning, right? So you can have, you know, a little bit of an issue with this free spinning here. But I suppose you could take your, you know, your 521 or whatever you have, screw the base in there, and then you have a little something else to work with, you know, but this is just free spinning. So that's why it might be a little bit finicky for some of you to build on. But I'm going to show you how I build it. Now, here are the two air holes, obviously being fed from underneath, okay, via these two air slots coming up through here, right? Alrighty. 2 grub screws. It's not a velocity style, so if you're dual coiling it, you're using the same wire holes, okay? But let's throw some coils in here, and I'll show you how I get by building it. And this is the second build I'm doing on it. All right, second time. So any fumbling that I do, you're gonna see firsthand. All right, so I'm loosening the grub screws right now. I created 2 of these coils. These are 10 wrap around 3mm stainless steel, 26 gauge. All right. I don't do any special bending of the leads or anything at all like that. I just simply take this, you know, stick it in there, and this is what I do. All right. I freehand it. I freehand it. Let me zoom in a little more. I just got to look up the camera all the time to make sure I'm on frame. So excuse me for going, okay. So I push that through, and you see how my coil naturally is tilting towards one side. I take that, I stick that into the air hole. I just let it sit there like that. You see how I did that? All right, I'm just making sure that this thing, that I'm covering it from different angles. Oops, I popped it out. Let me get it back in there. I just let it sit there in the air hole. All right, let me grab it, show you it from all different directions. Hopefully you can see it well enough. And then I just kind of like hold it there, right? And just flip it around a bit. I take my second coil, and I do the same exact thing on the opposite side. I thread my 2 leads through the holes. I push the coil up and into the air hole and just let it sit there. So you can see the symmetry of this. Let me make sure it's on camera. Oh, that one popped out. Okay, no biggie. Just get it back in there. All right, so they're kind of like facing away from each other, but it's, you know, the symmetry is there. Both coils are now sitting in the air holes at slight angles. Let me just kind of like move this around a bit so you can see what's going on. Whoops. Yeah, see, it's finicky, right? But this is the easiest way well, this is the only second time I've done this. There's probably many different ways. obviously people use. But I don't want to spend a ton of time jerking around with this thing. I just want to get my coils in there, hold them in place. Now I'm going to hold both of them in place. And as I do so, I'm going to take my Allen key and tighten down one of the leads as I hold those coils where they are. Just snug it a little bit just to keep a tension on it. All right. Go over to the other side, snug it down. Just to hold it. All right. Then I'll come over, just continue to snug it up just a bit because I don't want anything to kind of like get away from me. Now you go, okay, how do we straighten these out? It's not difficult, right? Whether you're using a coil master jig with, you know, this on the end of it, a mandrel. Because these are 3mm, I have a 3mm screwdriver. I just simply put my screwdriver in the coil, work it around, and start working around until I can get this coil. See, the screwdriver is now through the coil. Get it through the coil, rotate it, all right, to where I want it, over the air hole. Right? I'm not being too finicky about it. Go over, start doing the same thing with the other one. Right? Just keep twisting that, kind of start rotating this up because I want to make sure that I get my coil, my screwdriver through the coil, and then I'm going to rotate it to straighten it out, get it in position more or less where I want it. All right, so I roughly have things orientated to where I want it, right? Now, as an added measure right now, before I start tugging and pulling and all kinds of crap, right, I'm going to make sure these grub screws are really decently tight. That's good. That's good. That's getting there. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to snip off the excess leads from the terminals, taking care not to cut what goes to the coil. There's one. Let me move that a little bit. There's two. Three. Four. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is just double check that I don't want my coil touching the air hole underneath. So just want to make sure everything's orientated so I'm not going to get a short, right? And it's just slightly off of the air hole. All right. It's close enough for government work. Now what am I going to do? I want to sort these things out. Right? Meaning I'm going to, dry burn them, glow them, make sure everything's heating up evenly. And for all you zealots out there that go, oh no, never dry burn your coils. Oh, that's toxic. You don't want to do that. Ooh. Please, okay? If this, doing that is going to make you die any quicker, like, please. So what do you do? How do you do that? Now, this little ring that goes on top, I'm going to sort out the coils, obviously, before I wick it. But you got to put this thing on there so that you have a nice steady platform. You can mount it to whatever you want to, do the dry burning with and sort out your coils. But this device only goes on one correct way. Not multiple ways. All right. So if you can see inside here, hopefully you can, there's like speed bumps in here. Can you see those speed bumps? I hope you can see those speed bumps. All right. So there are different ways to orientate this onto the deck. So I'm just going to slip it on there, and it's like, okay, so you saw it went down there, but you see how the deck now is flush? Okay, that's how you want the deck flush. But you see the air holes aren't orientated to where your wicking material is going to come into this open spot here, right? So you could, in theory, okay, get this thing all set up, installed, wick the whole 9 yards, and it's not going to work really well for you. Now, this may be fine, all right? This position is fine if you're using very, very thin E-juice. Possibly that'll work out all right. But that's one orientation. So you can see how this bottom of the actual build deck goes and inserts into this little, you know, I don't know what you call this thing, chamber. Okay. Now I can rotate it again. All right. And you see now the air holes are lining up with the actual wicking chambers, let's say. However, the bottom of the deck is not flush. It did not go inside there. So I'm going to rotate it again. You know, that didn't feel good. And there we have it. So now the wick holes are lining up with the wicking chambers from the coils. The deck is going flush inside here. That's the way you probably want to have this set up. So I can take this the way it is now, take my, you know, 510 air flow control, you know, the whole 9 yards, thread this brass, I guess that's brass. I don't know what that is. And start to thread this. Well, that didn't work out too well. That sucked. So let me do it this way. Let me get this reoriented again. It's correct. Hold it down like that. And screw down. Oh, let me get it on camera and screw down like that. All right. So what's nice at least is when the air holes are completely, you know, air slots are closed, it stops. If they're completely open, it stops. So once you rotate it this way, you do have very good leverage to get a nice, good, solid, you know, screwing down on this. So now I can put this on my, like, Coilmaster 510 tab. Check out the resistance, 0.35, and we can start to fire it. Focus. Can you focus? Hello? And I'll start to fire it. All right, so we're getting some glowy, glowy, glowy here. I want to compress these coils a little bit. So I'll be going on and off camera, making sure the coils are oriented the way I want them. Okay, that's looking all right. Sorry if it's a little bit out of focus. I'll strum them a bit. All right, they're burning nice and even. I'm good to go there. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take it back off the tab. Now I want to wick it. So I want to remove this chamber. This is what I do anyways. All right, so that's all removed. Let me find some wicking material. Oh no! What's this over here? Oh, that's good. That's what I want. All right. All right. So let me cut some cotton here. I don't know what this is. Might be Kojin dough. I don't know what this is. But you get the idea, right? Gonna move the outer layers, remove the outer layers anyways. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Little scrunchy, 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 munchy. And I'm just going to thread it through. All right, that's cool. Let's do the other side. Was that on camera? Oh, it was on camera. That was cool. Thank you. All right. All right. All right. Scrunchy, scrunchy. Turn this around. Come on. Because it rotates, it's a pain in the butt. All right, so I need a vape. All right, so now here we have the build deck. We got some cotton here. I'm going to feed my cotton through this. What do you call this thing? I don't know. Whatever. Oh, it's got to be on camera. Okay, so that would be helpful. Well, I can show you this way too. So this chamber, wicking chamber. I don't know. All right, so I feed it through there. And let me get it on camera. I get that orientated correctly, so you can see that went in flush there. There's the wick hole, open chamber. You can see there behind it. I wish it would focus better for me. All right, and then I'm going to hold this inverted like that, so everything stays in place. Take the 510 airflow chamber, the whole 9 yards, drop it on top of that, and screw the two together. Right. All right, see how the airflow control is now closing? That means now I can get good leverage. Oop, and make sure you crank it down in there. So now I have all this wicking material sitting up top there, right? Which is cool, because all I need to do is this. Right? All right, ready? Hello. Just, pull it all out taut, kind of taut. Don't go crazy. There you go, right? See what I ended up with? And then I want to take my, whatever you want to whatever you have, right? And just gently just start pushing your cotton ends down to where those wick holes are. Need to turn that around, look at it a little bit. Now you want to make sure that your cotton is below the inside threads. Otherwise you're going to end up catching it and maybe disturbing all the beautiful wicking that you just did. All right? So you see how these internal threads are here? All right, make sure you push your cotton, make sure the cotton is below those threads. All right, so that one's a little high. I want to make sure I get that down a little bit. All right, that should be copacetic. All right, that's cool. Right? So now let me get some juice. Always shake up your juice. And let me prime this little guy up. Prime him up, prime him up. All right. Now you see how you can see the cotton? You see the wicking holes? How everything looks really nice there? I didn't have to do really any work for that. All right, prime it up. Test fire it. So we're going to put it back on the tab. Let's flip the switch. Here we go, right? Oh yeah, there we go. We're cooking. We're cooking. Okay. So that's all we need to do. Just double check. Now for final assembly. Little drink of water. Let's get that out of the way. Boom, 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 boom. We need our glass. So the glass is just held in there by compression with the gaskets. Thread this onto the top of the entire chamber with the wicking, right? And really give that a nice, okay, that's as far as it's going to go. That's as far as it's going to go. Now we can top fill it. Oh, what juice am I using? Whale nuts. That's what I'm using. Now, this thing does not hold a lot of juice. You know, maybe a couple of mil. You know, I don't know. Did it say anywhere on what it held? No. Have no clue how much juice this is. But it doesn't hold a lot. All right, that's screwed on there. Let's take this off of here. This is the, what is this? This is the Toro by Gosiga. Yes, that's what that is. Let's screw this on here. I want to make sure that air chamber is opened up all the way before I screw it down. Oh, here's a definite, okay? You got to do this. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a puddle of juice all over the place. When you go to refill this tank, make sure you close that airflow control completely off, all right? Then fill it. Don't fill it too high, okay? Because you don't want to, when you screw this top cap back down, you don't want it to introduce pressure because you got too much juice, so you're trying to compress juice. That will definitely make it flood, all right? But do have this airflow control closed off before you fill it, and then you put the top cap back on. Trust me on this. Been there, done it. All right, so that's on there. This is just a Delrin drip tip of some kind. Okay. I have this on 40 watts. Let's give it a vape. Oh, yeah. Of course, the coil and the cotton have to break in a little bit. I got to tell you, it is an outstanding vape that the Moonshot, right, provides. It does. It is a fabulous vape. It's just finicky to build on. It's going to be finicky to rewick it. It doesn't hold a lot of juice, so there's some issues. All right. If none of those issues bother you, as far as a flavor addy goes, holy crap! I'm telling you, this chucks out the flavor. Resistance is 0.38. I'm currently reading stainless steel, so it goes up as it heats. Yes. Oh, by the way, this is the Le Simo. Okay, I think that's an offshoot of SMY and that kind of stuff. Gorgeous screen. 200-watt box mod. Does temperature control for nickel, titanium, stainless steel. Has memory settings for different configurations. Bluetooth you can enable Bluetooth on this and control your settings by your Bluetooth phone. Just to give you a quick, 2 battery. Magnets work great. This white, I doubt if it's coming across at all on camera, but okay, this is white, but it is like it's a pearlescent white, slightly like a metal flake finish to it, kind of very, very, very fine. This is like, I'll call it a pearl, really. Outstanding vape. Really outstanding vape. From the Moonshot, manufactured by SIGELE, designed by SUPRIMO, SUPRIMO, in San Jose, California. Box mod provided by Cool Vapor. Where are they located? Crystal River Mall, Crystal River, Florida. And they do have them in stock. Great. So that's what I have for you today. Robert the Arm Vapor.